Hi everyone, this is Patty Barr. I'm the director of ICATER, which is the Iowa Center for Assistive Technology, Education and Research. We're in the College of Education at the University of Iowa. Welcome to this webinar on GeoGebra. This is a Chrome app, so that means, and it's free, so that means it works in your Chrome browser. It's not going to work in Safari or any other browser, just Chrome. So you can open your apps either here with your apps over on this side, and those little dots, or I like to use Extensity, which gives me my extensions, and then as I scroll down, it gives me my apps. And it's just, to me, a nicer way to keep track of my apps and extensions, because there's quite a few here. So what we're going to look at is GeoGebra Classic. And I'm going to make myself just a little bit smaller and move me out of the way a little bit so that we can see our graph paper. So I think that GeoGebra is just a really neat way to be able to show students in real time about points, numbers on a line, and how those relate to equations. So here's your pointer tool, and here's points, so you can put in a point. You can choose a point, and when you put that point in, it shows you where it is on the graph. It gives you the equation for that. So here's another point, and it gives me that equation for it. I can make lines, and they can be lines or segments or vectors. So I can just make a line, and it gives me the equation for that line. I can make perpendicular lines or parallel lines to this line. So I'm going to try to make a perpendicular line, and I make a perpendicular, and I could move it, maybe I want it right on top of C. And I can make a parallel line. So maybe I want a parallel line to this, and I want it to intersect with B up here. Or I could make it intersect, make another one, and have it intersect just anywhere. It doesn't have to intersect with a specific line. You can also make different shapes. So you can make all kinds of shapes. I'm going to make a triangle. So here's a triangle, and I'm just clicking, and it gives me, again, it's giving me that information about that. So how long this segment is. And one of the things that's kind of neat about these shapes is when you go back to your pointer tool up here, you can actually, these are live. So I can make this into, say, what is it that's kind of a fun, let's see, 3, 4, 5 triangle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. So this segment is 3, 1's 4, and 1's 5. So it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle because it's a right angle. And then you can make circles, and it'll give you a center point, circle with the center radius. So here's a circle. And you can make ellipses. So let's just make an ellipse. And at some point it becomes a circle or an ellipse. Oops, got to make your point on it to stop. And then you can look at angles. So for example, if I wanted to know the angle of, say, the angle between HF, oops, I didn't want it that way. Let's try this one. Angle, got to get it in the right order. Let's just do HGF. Try it again. It's going to give me the 270. Let's see if it will give me this one. Okay, so 36.87. Let's see if it'll give me this one. So I can look at angles. And then, and there's other things that you can do with this, of course. Here's one that you can have dots that reflect about a line. And this one is sliders, which I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to get a fresh sheet of paper. So I'm just going to come in here and say I want a new sheet of paper. And we're not going to save this one. But I want to show you just a couple of things that you can do with, say, lines and sliders. So this is the sliders tool. So a line is, the equation for a line is y is equal to mx plus b, right? So y equals mx plus b. And I typed this in, but I could have used my calculator down here, and I could use my different calculators here. So we're not going to use that. It'll give us a little more. So I've got, it wants me to create a slider. So I can create a slider, and it gave me that automatically. So what I can do, this has got what, a y-intercept of 1. So this is, it's got a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 1. But if I change that, so there's my y-intercept is moving, and just think about that line and how that would help your students to understand the y-intercept. And then this one's the slope. So this gives you an idea of what the slope does when you change it. So I just think this is, you know, I'm an engineering major, so I just thought this was really cool. A couple other things I just want to show you is, say, I showed you the triangle. Let's just look at a triangle again. And I want to see if I can make some, I think they're on here, angle bisectors. So if I wanted to make a bisector of this, and really what I'm trying to do is get the center of this triangle, figure out what the center is of this triangle. So I've got to bisect that angle, and then let's see if we can bisect this angle. And then let's see if we can bisect this angle, ACB. So there's the center of my triangle. Now when I go back to my pointer tool over here, I can move this and it's live. So just think about how you might be able to use this with your students. Think about students that are having a hard time graphing. Maybe they have some motor difficulties. Think about students that may need more visual input and more kind of live input to put the graphing with the equation and see how that works. I just think this would be a really good tool for many of our students with various learning needs. So that's it for GeoGebra for today. You can imagine there's lots and lots of things you can do with this, and there are lots and lots of YouTube videos out there about GeoGebra. So enjoy.